Welcome to New Bartelshagen on Farming Simulator 19 for this first look map tour with me, MrSealyp. Here we are on New Bartelshagen. This is a map by AtzeVR and this is ported over from 17. I don't know if it was on 15 for PC, I'm not too sure. If I recall correctly, this is the one that came onto 17, then disappeared because there were inappropriate pictures in one of the workshops. But then I think it came back again. I'm sure it did. I remember doing a first look on it. Anyway, a few things have changed. That's why I'm going to do the first look. Because I looked and I thought, well, it's the same map, but things have changed. And obviously there's a lot of nuances with FS17, which are a little bit different. Now we start on the map. Just kind of to the left of central. If you like big machinery and big fields, you are going to love this map. Some of these fields are colossal. So yeah, we start just here in an Estancia Lapacho style building, which if you're a farmer, I'm not quite sure how you afford it, but it's very nice indeed. This is vastly different to the farmhouse that was here originally. Was it the pig pens that were here originally? I'm trying to remember, because obviously everything's changed now. The animals are in different places, etc, etc. Buildings have changed, and again we've got the FS19 lighting, graphics, all those kind of things, which are slightly different. Now the bottom end of the map I'm not going to show you or go down to, because it is just big fields. There's nothing else down there. There's no sell points or anything like that. There are some bits down by the coast, little coastal road and that kind of thing. And this section of the map here, when you come round, there's a few little houses and there's a little house set back of the road. This is based on a real place. And I think I said when I did my first look on this on FS17, it's actually completely the other way around, 180 degrees. This is set in, is it the north of Germany? I'm pretty sure it is. And the Lake Lagoon, whatever you want to call it, is on the northern edge, which actually is this bit here. So the map's been kind of flipped around, but it's true to life. If you look on Google Maps, if you can find it, it's actually quite cool that it represents real life. So what do we start with field wise? Well, we start with this plot here with field 1 on it, which has all the main farm, etc. Our building where we can sleep over is here. We don't own that plot of land. One minor gripe that I'm going to have here is the breaking up of fields, of plots, should I say. That plot that we own is worth 171,000, not too bad at all. And there are some plots which are, not that one for example, 195,000, although a big chunk of that is water, so a bit pricey for what you get. That one there, 244, so you can kind of build up. That said, this one here, 784,000. And what is a little bit worrying for me is the fact that because you've got two separate fields, wouldn't it have been better to have this field here as a plot, or this area, and this as a plot, so you can gradually kind of build up? The same can be said for the top of the map. If we click on like this, you get this entire section here. Well, this top bit here is quite flat. This is all grass across the top here with some woodland as well, but it's all joined into this section here with field 2 on it. I don't know if it would have been better to have it separate. Then maybe you could move your farm around, add animals in, and you can't really do it. The same if we do this one here. That one's separate there with the biogas plant and stuff in it, 402,000. This one's 879. 858. I mean, there's some big plots on here. 500. And weirdly enough, we start with this one as well, which has got a grain silo in it, which I suppose we probably need. So our grain silo, or our silo, isn't where the farm is, it's much further over. But we have got the barn, grain elevator east, sawmill and spinnery as the sell points. What machinery do we start with? Well, this is an interesting one as well. If we go to garage, we do start with the farm. And we do start with the building we're standing outside of, which is our sleep overnight building, but those are not sellable. That building, your farmhouse, is not for sale. That's just there. You can add another one if you want to, but we do start with a couple of John Deeres, John Deere harvester, the pickup, a couple of trailers, John Deere header. We've got a plough, we've got a power harrow, we've got a seeder. So we do start with a few bits and bobs, which is pretty good, I have to say. I do like all the John Deere stuff. Slots, though, it's another iffy one. We do start with a fair bit of equipment, so I suppose, but out of 1,299 we use 688 already, which only leaves us 611 slots available. That is not a lot. If you sold some of this off, I guess you could regain some of those slots, and to be fair, the John Deere stuff is quite high in the slot count, but even so, it doesn't leave you a lot to play around with. But anyway, that said, let's come out of here. So we start, like I say, just sort of to the west of Central. 1 second. Okay, and off we go. So like I say, the southern part of the map we're not going to drive down to, but the fields are huge. I mean, absolutely massive. I don't know if you remember much about the new Bartelshagen map on 17. It's crisper, it's cleaner, it's neater. The textures are very, very smooth and, like I say, clean. I did like on the original, and I do like on this one. You've got the normal road, but then you've got these kind of concrete sections that are put down. It's a nice touch. It's not just a normal road. It's, you know, something a little bit different. But we have got some massive expanses. It's fairly flat. Actually, I think the whole map is pretty much flat, which is also very good because it means landscaping, placing placeables, that kind of thing, isn't going to cost you a fortune if you need to do any landscaping. We're going to head now in towards the centre. There's a crossroads in the centre of the little village here, and we've got a cash point just on the right there. A lot of these buildings and houses have got new fences and have been, like I say, smartened up and tidied, and bits of texture and greenery and shrubbery added. I'm going to take a right just here, because the first thing, one of the early things in this that I want to show you, which I think is quite important, we swing into this little industrial estate here, a couple of sheds, barns, whatever you want to call them. We have got, in this one here, a fertilizer refill point inside. If I go across to here, zoom in. Oh, I've gone too far. If I click on it, fertilizer, the one above, liquid fertilizer. So this one's fertilizer, solid fertilizer. I think if we go around, it wasn't in the building, I think it's around the other side. We have got a liquid fertilizer refill point just here. So we have refill points on the map already. We don't need to put placeables. We don't necessarily need to worry about pallets and bags if we don't want to. I haven't checked the prices. I would imagine they're going to be pretty much standard with the game ones, I guess, but you know, until you kind of play on it a little bit, it's difficult to tell. As a first look, I don't generally, I could spend hours testing out all sorts of stuff. So like I say, that right hand turn, or that part of the crossroads, leads out. There's small buildings and it goes off down to the southern part of the map. Not much to see there, but if we head north we come to our farm. Now this farm is in the same place it was in FS17, but again, I don't know, to me it just like I say, it's cleaner and neater. And on our left hand side we have a horse paddock, the large horse paddock, I believe. However, you can't sell it. It's not in your owned buildings. So that's there for good. You can't do a lot about that. So if you can do horses, fantastic. A little bit disappointing maybe that you can't sell it, because I kind of thought that was the point of what the placeable system and plots of land and that kind of thing were about. But anyway, that being said, if I just stop here, we have got a water refill point just here on this side of the road. And I've got traffic on and I haven't come across any yet, so don't know if there is any at all. Here we've got our kind of store. I think it's one of those kind of the store delivers it to you type situations, but there's our store. And over here we have a lime pile, so we can buy our lime from here. I had a quick whiz round earlier and I tried it with the trailer, and it filled the trailer up no problem from here. I don't know if you can do it with buckets, not sure, but you can into a trailer and probably can into the fertilizer spreader as well, I would imagine. Actually, you know what? We'll go around the rest of the yard on foot. So we've got the power harrow that we own just there. This side we've got a seed refill point. Fantastic. We've got fuel just here. These barns all open. Now what I haven't come across is a customization point. It wasn't over there by the store, was it? Hang on, what's this over here? Oh, that could be it, couldn't it? Let me open this up. I suppose, yeah, that's kind of a workshop, isn't it? Kind of, yeah, it's a workshop. So the rest of, I say some of our farm machinery is out here. The John Deere, the Cedar, a couple of trailers. One of these trailers has got stuff in. I think it might be this one. I think it's got potatoes in. I can't remember now. I will just double check for you. No one of them has. Like I say, if John Deere's not your thing, if you don't like John Deere, or they're quite high on the slot count, so it might be that when you get the, you know, I have done this on 3,000 litres of sugar beet. I have done this on new farmer mode, so you can see what you actually start with equipment wise. Obviously you can start it on farm manager mode or start from scratch. You won't own any plots of land, but you'll have more money to buy and that kind of thing. So it depends how you want to go about it. But all of these barns do open. Oh yeah, over here. Where was it? Showing on the map. Oh, there you go. Herbicide. Herbicide refill point is just inside this building right here. So that's really the main farm. The barn's all open. There's a plough over the back there. So there's plenty of storage space for your vehicles already. You don't necessarily need a shelter to start off with. Some of the bigger machinery might need it, but at the moment, not too bad. One thing about the large fields I want to just show you. When I checked earlier, look at the prices. Fertilising, 85,000. Well, I've got it in dollars, but 85,000. Harvesting, 77 grand. But you've got to remember, these fields are big. So if you're interested in the big fields, if you like big machinery, you want to get your big bud stuff out and, you know, all the big things, you're going to love it. It's perfect for all of that. Right, moving onwards. This road leads up to kind of like a T-junction that runs across the top of the map. We'll have a quick look at the gargantuan fields as we go past. What is that in the field? Oh, that's something to watch out for. Oh, blimey. I suppose that's what that post is for. God, that's going to make harvesting that interesting. Anyway. So we reach the T-junction, we're going to take a right, and you see what I mean about this top section here is all grass fields. So you could, it's fairly flat, put animals and stuff on there if you wanted to without using up crop land, like arable land, but unfortunately you have to buy it as part of the plot of land that goes with the field. So yeah, I don't know if obviously if I'm happy with that, I can't do anything about it, but around the edge of the map there's forestry. As such, there are trees around the outside edge. Not an inexhaustible supply, but there are trees about. But again, you're going to have to own that land to cut them down, so it's going to be quite pricey to buy them. So heading eastward, not Clint Eastwood, but just, you know, eastward. Dad joke. Returning just here, we come to the sawmill. Now a lot of this top section of the map has changed from 17. So there's all sorts of stuff, but the actual terrain has changed. A lot of the details have changed. Now we've got the sell point just here. We've got the indicator there, but I don't know. Alright, I'm assuming then this part here is for wood chips because you've got the little hazard marked area there. And this larger part here I'm assuming is for lumber and timber. I would imagine so, because there's not a separate point for each. But that's your sawmill. And coming to the far northeastern part of the map, we come to the farm's silo. It's an interesting place to have it right out of the way. But there's your drop-off point for unloading into the silo. If we go around the other side here. We've got our loading up. Now, something I haven't checked before is, if we go across, do we have anything in the silo already? Yes, we do. We've got a bit of everything thrown in there, which is rather nice. So if you've got good prices on anything, you might want to sell some of that stuff off straight away, unless you intend doing pigs, in which case you might be glad of having some of that in place to feed them to get you going. Anyway, so that's the farm silo. I'm going to head west now across the map. We come to the last of all the sell points on the map. Now on the original version on 17, or so on the original version on 17, on the right here there used to be a placeable area, but obviously that's now redundant because you can landscape and do all that kind of stuff. You can pretty much put a placeable area wherever you want to, I guess. So that's been removed. I remember on 17 people being quite annoyed because you actually had to buy the placeable area before you could place stuff on it. But anyway, so moving into the last of our sell point areas, we have the biogas plant with a few sell points and bits and bobs going on just around here. If I just put in here, we have got 5 bunker silos. So this is more like the FS 17 biogas kind of setup, but we do have a low down digester, so I don't know if you can tip directly into that. Possibly it does intimate that you can do, which would be quite cool if you can. Saves on buckets and all those kind of things. The digestate tank, I believe it's like it was on 17, is this one here. Now I don't know, like I said, I've done a couple of first look map tours today, and I don't know whether or not you have to own the BGA if a modder makes the map. Whether or not you have to own the BGA, or I don't know whether that's a stock standard thing or whether the modders themselves can control that. So I'm not entirely sure. But that will probably require a bit of testing. We've got Emerson's livestock market for your livestock needs. If I press L3, interestingly though, it's only giving me the option for horses because I've only got horses. I've only got a horse paddock, so that will be why it's only giving the option for horses. So yeah, BGA, Emerson's. Round this side we have got the some of the grain elevators. It's grain elevator. No, it's not. That is the spinnery. That's your wool sell point and cotton sell point. That's just there. It's because they're all merged into one. I think grain elevator east, or the grain elevator, is inside here, I think. Let's have a look. It is inside this building just here. So that's the last of your sell points. And that is pretty much it. It is, I say pretty much. The map itself is just like it was in 17. There's been a lot of changes. A lot of things with 19 which have been added. Obviously there's all the stuff to do with placeables. Obviously there's the new animals. There's new crop types. There are a lot more options available now and things you can do. Like I say, I'm still a little bit, I don't know about the plot size thing and the way the plots have been broken up, but it's a minor thing really. It's neat, it's tidy, I know I've said it a few times already, but if you like your big machinery, yeah, this is going to be the map for you. I know people are looking for big American maps and that kind of thing, but if you like doing big farming, this might tide you over until a big American map comes out. I like it. AtzeVR has done a great job in the conversion over from 17 to 19, and I hope you've found this useful, informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.